Parents, upcoming a special treat, a highlight match from Amarillo, Texas, and it features ex-Pittsburgh Steeler Charlie Cook tangling with the insidious Sheik. That's from Amarillo, Texas, the Sheik and Charlie Cook. Let's go to the action now as described by Bob Finnegan.
Hello, wrestling fans. This is Bob Finnegan coming to you direct from San Antonio, Texas, where I have traveled to cover a bout between the wild man from Syria, the Sheik, and former Grambling football great Charlie Cook. There was no ring announcement here. The Sheik jumping Charlie Cook before this bout had an opportunity to be introduced to you television wrestling fans. And this is the way that the wild man from Syria has been operating these past many months. The wild man tonight steps into the ring against a formidable opponent. Charlie Cook, who's had some great amateur wrestling background in college and in high school, who had a great football career not only in the college ranks with Grambling College, but also in the pro ranks with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Charlie Cook now in professional wrestling has put himself together a fantastic winning streak, and now Charlie Cook puts the Sheik outside the ring, the Sheik on the floor of this arena. And you'll notice tonight, walking into the picture there and pointing to Cook and talking to referee Leo Seitz is none other than Gary Hart, who is seconding the Sheik here in San Antonio, Texas tonight. A great capacity crowd here on hand in this arena, and we think you fans are going to see some bout. So we have traveled here to bring the Big Time Wrestling Television Network this special bout from San Antonio, Texas. The prayer rug now put into the ring. The Sheik comes through the ropes, and Charlie Cook, boy, he is red hot. He is upset with the Sheik. He walked into this ring. He's a very popular man here in San Antonio. The fans giving him some applause and happy to see him. A great round of applause for Charlie Cook. And then he was attacked by the Sheik before he had the opportunity to be introduced here in this bout. So there will be no introduction. And I got to be honest with you, if I were the ring announcer, I wouldn't want to get into this ring with a guy like the Sheik, especially in the mood that he's in here tonight in San Antonio. The Sheik now getting ready for his pre-match ritual, where he will pray to Allah, the prayer rug in place. Referee Leo Seitz trying to keep Charlie Cook away from the Sheik being very, very leery. And the Sheik is acting funny here in this bout. The Sheik, a man who is very clever at disguising his true intent. And he's here to win this bout tonight, but he's going to have a tough haul if he's going to put Charlie Cook down for a 3 count. Gary Hart standing ringside now. And the Sheik complaining about Cook interfering and breaking his concentration. Now the Sheik looks to Allah. Charlie Cook busy with the referee, and what is the Sheik doing? The Sheik reaches into one of his boots, and he's got something in his hand. The Sheik now gets up off his prayer rug, and he jumps Charlie Cook, and Gary Hart had a lot to do with it. Gary Hart was talking to the referee while the Sheik snuck up on Charlie Cook with that object, and he drives it into the throat of Cook. Cook goes flying through the ropes out onto the floor of this arena. And I'm glad I'm on this side of the ring and not on the far side of the ring, where the timekeeper now is close to assault by the Sheik. The Sheik grabs his bell, pushes the timekeeper out of the way, and drives Cook's head into the apron of this ring, and now into the timekeeper's table. Boy, I'm going to tell you, the Sheik is wild tonight. And listen to the fans here in San Antonio. Now, Sheik into the ring. He grabs Charlie Cook and takes him into the ring with him. Cook down on the mat, the Sheik on top of him, choking away. I don't know what he's got on Cook. He's got something to the throat of Charlie Cook. It's hard to tell from this vantage point. And the referee is trying to keep Gary Hart out of the match and trying to get the Sheik away from Charlie Cook so that the big man can get to his feet. But the Sheik is a wild man tonight, to say the least. Here's a man who set more attendance records around the country than any other wrestler alive. He's capable of doing anything. Will he use the mystical fire tonight? We'll have to wait and find out. Will he put himself in a trance? Many times, oftentimes, the Sheik puts himself in a trance, and I've seen guys hit him with everything they've got, and it doesn't faze him. It's just as though he's not really with us, and there it's very clear and evident what the Sheik took out of his shoe. It was an object with some tape wrapped around it. He has unraveled the tape now and has it wrapped around the neck of Charlie Cook. And referee Leo Seitz has had a tough time trying to catch the Sheik at whatever he's doing. And you know, before you can count a man off, you've got to catch him doing it. That's the rules of the National Wrestling Alliance. The wild man from Syria, the Sheik. Gary Hart now complaining to referee Leo Seitz that he is interfering in the bout. And Leo Seitz is telling Gary Hart to get back to his corner. In the meantime, the Sheik takes Charlie Cook to the mat. The wild man from Syria, who has the power of the reptile. He has a gigantic reptile he carries around with him. Master of the fire, hypnosis, has in his arsenal some of his favorite moves. Devastating. And it appears as though the Sheik has won the bout here because the referee has raised his hand in victory. It appears as though the Sheik has won the bout. He counted down an unfortunate Charlie Cook. The Sheik's going to win this one. Gary Hart's in the ring. Let me finish what I started to say a moment ago. The Sheik has that camel clutch, the mystical fire, and we've not seen any of that tonight. He did not use the camel clutch on Charlie Cook. Rather than that, he took him down, choked him down. He was counted out of this bout. Now, the Sheik in this vicious attack on Cook, and Cook has some friends stepping into the ring here. First of all, there's Scott Casey. Along with Scott Casey is Skip Young. And now Gary Hart looking very nervous, and the Sheik grabs Young from behind. Skip Young, he grabs him from behind, and he's got that tape around the neck of Skip Young. And here comes Scott Casey to help his buddy Skip Young. And they're double teaming the Sheik. Now the Sheik is taking a pounding. I told you, look at the expression on this man's face. I told you about that hypnotic state, that hypnotic trance. And here's Scott Casey hitting him with everything he's got. And the Sheik doesn't even feel it. It doesn't even phase the Sheik. He doesn't register at all. And now he's got 3 men on him. Now the referee's in there. Leo Sykes is in there trying to pull the Sheik off of Skip Young. And Scott Casey continues to hammer away on the Sheik. This guy, it doesn't even phase him. Now the referee's hitting him. 3 men here. 4 men actually in the ring, and Gary Hart trying to stay out of the way. The Sheik told him, get out of my way. I don't need any help. Rather, he didn't say it. He motioned it to him because, you know, the Sheik doesn't do a whole lot of talking in that ring. Some Arabic, maybe. Now, the Sheik has Charlie Cook on the ropes. He's already been declared the winner, but he continues to devastate Cook. Scott Casey with a chair beckons the Sheik to the middle of the ring, and Gary Hart signaling to the referee to stop this, to send these guys to the dressing room. Gary Hart trying to get the Sheik out of the ring. The Sheik still with fire in his eye. Keeps his eye for sure on Scott Casey with that chair. Now he takes a look at Skip Young, too. And Scott Casey. The referee trying to stay in the middle of these tough and rough wrestlers. And now the Sheik goes back after Skip Young. Again with that tape wrapped around his neck. And I can't believe this. He's dragging him bodily over into the corner. Here comes Scott Casey. And again he hammers the Sheik. The Sheik runs away from Casey.